Welcome to Hatha Yoga. What is Hatha Yoga? I'm going to read something to you today because I want you to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, why so many people like it. Hatha Yoga is a system of physical exercises and breath control. There are many different types of yoga. It was originally a total life philosophy that incorporated how we look at the world and how we obtain inner peace. There's so little of inner peace today, isn't there? Yoga means to yoke or unite the mind and the body. One does affect the other, and I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times. Our fast-paced society, do you agree with me on that, has forced yoga to adapt by shifting the focus to classes that focus on the physical or the asanas. These movements that we do are called asanas, more than the philosophical. There's a yoga that is just philosophical. The yoga breath is called pranayama, which is a Sanskrit word meaning the breath. Those who were serious about yoga, and especially in the past, followed something called the 8 limbs of yoga that form an ethical code to live by, to live happier and more meaningful lives. The yoga breath is designed to help us feel alert, self-aware, more focused, and calm. So I just wanted you to know that because some people really don't know what it is. It's not a religion. It's more of a discipline or a science. So we're going to do some seated yoga today, right now, and then we're going to do some standing also. So I want to read something to you again before we start. And I just like to have a little something for us to think about while we're doing yoga. It says, see all human behavior as one of 2 things, love or a call for love. Interesting, isn't it? So I thought I'd start there today. I hope you have your water with you. As I said, we'll be seated for the first part. These are called prayer hands sometimes. And I'm going to say namaste. That's a greeting, a salutation. That means we just show respect for each other. And we're all here to relax. That's one of the many things that yoga does for us. It also stretches and strengthens when we talk about physical yoga. And the yoga breath, or pranayama, is for your mind. And we like to connect the two. And we want them both to be relaxed. And one thing does affect the other. That breath is really, really important. So you can just bring your arms down and relax for a minute. Drop your chin right down. Oh, feel that nice stretch back there. Wonderful. We're going to bring our head back up. We're going to do some head and neck stretches just to start out rather than just jumping in, okay? So we did the chin drop here. Now slowly, very slowly, you're going to look up at the ceiling. Don't try to drop your head too far back. Looking straight ahead. And let's turn the head first to one side slowly. Yoga requires flexibility. It can give you flexibility, and we want to maintain that. So you're going to turn your head to the opposite direction. And then we'll come back. Now let's do the ear drop, and that is just dropping the ear to the shoulder. Good. Does it feel bad? Does it hurt? Does it feel good? Most people have a stiff neck, especially as we get older, and especially if we've slept on one side for a long time. So this gives us an opportunity to stretch that out just a little bit. We also have a spine, don't we, that does lots of great things for us. And it moves in different ways to accommodate everything, life in general. So let's do the first spinal. I call it spinal flexion. You can open your feet and just drop down. Feel a nice stretch now in your lower back and your mid back. Let your shoulders relax. You can keep your head up if you have to. Great. Now I'd like you to clasp your hands and come up slowly. And this is called spinal extension. We're extending that spine up. It kind of flattens out that cervical curve in the upper back just a little bit, and we're going to very gently push back. Great. Now the spine can also rotate or twist. Take this hand, cross it over to the outside of the opposite leg, and just pull yourself around slowly. Oh, that feels good, and it really straightens us right up, doesn't it? So yoga is also good for posture. And then we'll come back slowly. Take the other hand, cross it over. You can hold on if you want to, and just pull yourself around. Pull that chin back in a little bit. So this is spinal rotation. Wonderful. Now the spine can also bend. It can bend. So we're going to take this hand, cross it over and hold on. I'm going to sit back just a little bit, reaching up and up again. And I want you to really feel yourself stretching. You might be taller when you finish this show today. And then we're going to switch. So this is 4 different ways that the spine can move. Reaching up and bending. Wonderful. And then we'll come back. Now what I'd like to do is do all of that with the yoga breath, because the breath really helps us to stretch even more. I'm going to grab a little water here. You can do that too if you want, because you will be doing the yoga breath. The breathing is extremely important to yoga and just life in general. What would we do without our breath? The breath is life. All right, so here's what we're going to do first. We're going to come forward. We're going to do some spinal flexion, but we're going to do the yoga breath first. So let's take a breath up through the nose, expanding that abdomen a little bit. And then as you exhale through your mouth, you can breathe out and pull the abdomen, or just tighten it a little bit. Don't work too hard here, just a little bit of tightening. Drop that chin right down. Good. And then we'll come back up. Now we're going to do spinal extension again. But we're going to bring those arms up. We're going to breathe up through the nose. And exhale as you gently push back. Good. You can make that whooshing sound if you want. Some people don't like to do that. We'll come back down again. All right, I'm going to move back again. Now we're going to do a spinal rotation. So you'll take this hand, and as you turn, you're going to breathe up through the nose and exhale out. Good. As you come back, you're going to breathe up through the nose again and exhale, and just bring that arm across and hold on. Great. And then we'll come back slowly. Now we're going to do a bend. All right, spinal bend. You're going to breathe up through the nose, reach across, reach up, and then breathe out. As you bend, keep breathing out, keep breathing out. Great. And then we'll come back up again. So you're going to breathe up again as you reach across and lift the arm up, and exhale out as you bend to the side. And then we'll come back. Yoga is also very good for your posture. And I'm not sure that this is real yoga, but I'm going to add this in anyway for your posture because it's really kind of important. I'm going to sit back. Just want you to make the letter Y. This is easy, just bringing the arms up. But I want you to really extend up. And yes, this can be done with the yoga breath too. You're going to breathe out as you... So we're just doing kind of half a breath here. When you bring the arms back, you get a better stretch. It opens all of this, which is usually congested because we do almost everything we do in life is forward. So let's try it again. The letter Y. Easy. As you breathe out, just a breath out this time. Bring those arms back. Feel the difference. Great upper body stretch. Great to flatten out that cervical area and to open the chest up. So let's relax a minute. Just bring those hands right down. Drop your chin down. Good. And then we'll bring the head back up again. How about the letter T? Good. Okay, you're going to breathe out as you bring those arms back again. Shoulder blades come together. I know you can feel that. And if you're really stiff and rounded, you're going to feel this even more. So we want to counteract that with this type of movement with the breath. Good. And then we'll bring the arms down. It really tightens the neck. So let's do the eardrop side to side. If you want to do it with the breath, you breathe up as you bring the head up. And exhale as you let the ear drop down. Let's do the other side, breathing up through the nose. And exhale as you do the ear drop. And there are Indian names for all of these. Maybe we'll work on those eventually too. Great. Okay, now we're going to do one more letter. All right, your elbows are bent here and pull down. And you're going to breathe out as you go back. Feel the oh, those shoulder blades are really talking to each other. I can hear them now. Oh boy. And then just bring the palms together. Let's bring those elbows up a little bit. Good. And how about bringing the elbows together? Yeah. And reaching up, up, up. You can breathe out if you want. Just don't hold your breath, all right? And we're going to bring those arms down too. And now we're going to do some more seated yoga. The yoga cat is usually done on all fours. But we're not getting down on the floor. We're going to do the chair version of the yoga cat, right? Just come forward a little tiny bit. You're going to breathe up as you kind of pull against your knees with maybe a tiny bit of an arch in the back. If that hurts, don't do it, okay? So you just breathed up. Now you're going to breathe out as you do the opposite. Drop the chin down, lift those shoulders up, round your back, all the things that are not good for posture, but it's a wonderful stretch for the back. So let's try it again, breathing up through the nose. Pull those shoulders down. Great. If you want, you can push your chin up toward the ceiling. Get rid of all this stuff in here. Great. So that's the yoga cat. Let's try it again. You're going to breathe up through your nose. Hold that breath for a couple of seconds and then exhale as you drop the chin, lift the shoulders, round the back. So you're pulling that abdomen in just a little bit. And now do your natural breathing and we'll come back up. Good. Let's make fists. Tension, relaxation. Tension, relaxation. Doesn't that feel good? I like it. We'll circle those hands a little bit just to loosen up. And then the other way. Good. Now we're going to do something called the pigeon. Now the yoga pigeon again is done on the floor, although you can also do yoga standing and seated like we're doing. So the pigeon is done on the floor. So if you can do this, cross over here, fine, because we're going to be doing this kind of stuff. If you cannot, you can cross at the ankle and still do kind of a limited version of what we're doing. So again, this is done on the floor. So you'd be kind of lying on the floor. You bring this leg in, kind of at chest level. The leg that's on the chair goes straight back. So it's pretty ambitious. But if you place yourself correctly, you can do it easily. So these are just things I'm throwing out to you. If you decide you want to get into yoga, maybe you're doing it already, but you're going to pull yourself up. Just hold on to your leg here. So we're going to call this a half pigeon, I guess. Inside of your knee here, very gently push down, even if it's only 1/8 of an inch. You're opening up that hip a little bit. So it's a good stretch. Let's take a yoga breath first. Up through the nose, holding for 2 seconds and exhaling. Try to make the exhalation a little bit longer than the inhalation, and then just resume your natural breath. Really like this one. But if you have arthritis in your hip, it might help a little bit if you've had surgery, or a replacement, you don't do any of this. You check with your doctor first, right? Take this hand, and there's a big space here, kind of thread it under. One hand is under, one is over, and you're going to pull that in if you can. If you cannot pull in, just put your hand here and very gently. So I don't know how it got this name. I really don't. The pigeon. Can't picture a pigeon doing this. Let's try the other side, though. We have two sides. Again, you can cross down here and do it this way or this way. Pull yourself up. Good. One side will be a little bit stiffer than the other. Very gently. This is my tougher side, but I know it needs it. It needs a little more flexibility. If you don't do anything, I mean, it'll just get worse and worse till you get to a point where you can hardly move at all. So let's very gently push down. Pull yourself up nice and tall. Good. Let's breathe up through the nose. And then exhale as you drop your chin down, round your back. Just let that head drop down. Good. And then just come up. We're going to just do one more of these. Again, let's see if we can very gently push down. Let's take this hand under like we did on the other side. If you want to do this, you can. But let's breathe up through the nose. And exhale. As you exhale, the opposite. Drop the chin down, round the back. Pull that abdomen in just a tiny bit. Or just tighten it if that's too much. You're not used to doing it. We're going to pull up again. All right. Great. So that's the yoga pigeon. All right, let's relax for 1 minute. Grab your water. I'm pretty sure most of you are not getting too much water, so it certainly is much better to stay hydrated. Okay, let's do something else that's usually done standing up. We're going to do the yoga eagle. It's done standing, and you kind of put one foot in back like this, and then you do it with the arms. Well, we're just going to do the arms today, okay? So here's the yoga eagle. Just elbow over elbow, elbow over the inside of the opposite elbow, if you can. If not, just bring your arms here or here, whatever you can do. Doesn't matter that much, really, as long as you're moving and trying. Can you touch a finger, thumbs together, or just finger to thumb, whatever you can do. Let's try it again. Open and cross. And this side is easier now. I warmed up a little bit, and hopefully you did too. Good. And then elbow over elbow. Great. And hold that for as long as you can. Wonderful. Let's touch the back of the neck. This is just a little stretch here. You're going to breathe out as you bring those elbows back. How does that feel? Oh, I can really feel that today. Let's do a little bend here. And then the other side. And back. Just don't hold your breath. Stay here, and as you come up, I'd like you to breathe out, up through the nose. And exhale as you bend, a little bit of a bend. Breathe up as you come up. And exhale as you bend. Keep exhaling till all that dead air is up and out of your lungs. Wonderful. Just bring those feet forward a little bit. Again, if this is getting tired, just do the best you can, or you can stop, either one. Let's take a breath first up through the nose. And exhale. See if you can cross over. You don't have to touch that knee unless you want to, unless you can. Let's breathe up. And exhale as you cross over. Good. And the slower the better, really. Wonderful. And then we'll come back up. We've spent a lot of time on the upper body, so I'd like to give you a little bit of standing yoga before the show is over today. All right, so let's come forward in the chair and stand up without holding on. I'd like to do something called the warrior pose, which is very common. You see a lot of it in yoga magazines. It's graceful. It looks good. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna pull the chair back. I'm gonna stand right here. Now, if you've been watching my shows, you know that this is second position in ballet, don't you? This is not enough. Get behind your chair so that you can grab it if you need to. All right? All right, arms out. Good. Just turn your head. Look at this hand. If that makes you dizzy, don't turn your head. All right? Let's just bend that knee. Now this foot is turned out. This foot is not. Maybe slightly. But you really want the whole foot on the floor. So arms again, just turning. So look at this hand. Bend that knee. Good, just a little bit. Now, we tend to want to do this. Try to pull back. I know you're not used to it. Just breathe out as you and come back. Or take a breath first up through the nose and exhale. Good. And then we'll come back. Can you do one more? Let's just breathe out this time. Good. And let's just bring both arms down, but keep the feet right where they are. We're going to do something called the Exalted Warrior. I mean, that's a pretty fancy name, isn't it? Arms out. Good. Let's breathe up through the nose. Exhale as you bend the knee. Just drop the arm down. Resume your natural breathing or hold on, because I want you to do a little bit of this. Bring that arm up, a little bit of a back bend. It's a wonderful stretch all the way down the body. So you're strengthening and you're stretching. Good. The Exalted Warrior. Let's come back up. Face the front. Both feet are turned out now. Okay? Let's do a little knee bend here. Great. Arms here. Palms up. Out to the side. Palms down. Palms down. Good. We're going to turn. This foot is on an angle, isn't it? The other foot is fairly straight. Let's just do a little knee bend. Turn your head to look at your hand. Or just copy what I'm doing here. A little bit of a bend again. Great. And bend again. Wonderful. And then we'll just bring those arms down. You're not used to holding your arms out like that. And I know you can feel it unless you've been doing a lot of it, right? So that was the warrior pose to the opposite side. And let's just bring those arms up again, all right? And we're going to turn. Let's breathe up first. Exhale and bend that knee. And come back. Let's breathe again up through the nose, nice and tall. Pull that chin back. And exhale as you bend the knee. And then we'll come back up again. Good. And one more time, we'll bend. You can do this with the breath also. Let that back arm just come right down. Holding on if you have to. Just lift that arm up and back. And the more you do this, the more flexible you'll be, the stronger you'll be. It's wonderful stuff. It's wonderful stuff. Good. Just bend those knees and straighten. Bend those knees and straighten. Bend again. Good. And bend. I think we have time for one more, but we're going to do it quickly, all right? So if you can stand to the side of your chair, if your chair is still next to you, or you can get behind your chair. Let's do some yoga hands, some prayer hands. Feet in first position. Here we go. They do not have to touch. They don't have to touch. Do a little knee bend. Good. Now remember, you're forward in one piece, not forward like that. So if you're back on your heels, you're going to lose your balance. So come forward. Just lift the heel. The knee is turned out, isn't it? It's not here. This is called the yoga tree, and this is really good for balance. Many seniors are doing yoga today. People of all ages, actually. So bring that foot a little bit closer in if you can. I think most of you can balance in this position. Yes. And just pick your foot up and put it down. Or just do that. just to get the feel of it. Normally your leg would be up there, but we're not going to do that today, are we? So pull that in nice and tall, lift. Good for balance, good for strength. It's a good exercise. Bring the feet down. Both feet are flat, rather. And bend your knees. Let's try the other side. So just bring that foot in a little bit. The knee is turned out. It's kind of a ballet knee, isn't it? Nice and tall now. Just lift the foot up, put it down, lift it up, put it down. Or just do that. If it's easier to just lift and put it down. Just so you'll get to feel what it's like and why it's good for us. So let's have a seat again, and we will end together. And I'm going to sit back down again. I just want to mention our saying one more time before we end our yoga class. And it may be oversimplification, but I think it says a lot. And I usually cite my source, and there was no source on this, so I'm going to have to find out who said this. See all human behavior as one of two things, love or a call for love. It does make sense to me, so I know we could expound on that for days, I suppose, but just get comfortable, grab a little water. We've got just a few seconds left. We will finish with our yoga hands. Good, and let's take a breath together all the way up. Exhale, and just tighten that abdomen a little bit. Or if you forgot to do it, don't worry about it. But these deep breaths will do more for you than a lot of stuff to relax. We don't have to want to take things all the time. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.